Prairie students, we're going to be learning a little bit more about the French horn today. You probably had your first lesson, but we're just going to review some of these things so you can practice at home. The first thing to remember is how to open your case. So if you look at both sides of the horn case, they look pretty similar. The only thing that's different is most cases will have some sort of brand name on it. So I want you to find that brand name, and you're going to have that point toward the ceiling. It's really important that we do that and we don't open our case just like this, because if we opened our case as it was sitting here like this, things would fall out all over the place and possibly dent your horn. And we want to make sure that they're nice and safe. So go ahead and put the name toward the ceiling, and then put the latches close to you. So there's latches on the horn case just like this, and I want them pointing toward you. So once you do that, just lift them up. Each case is going to be a little different, but most of them lift. And then you can open up the case. Once you have the case open, you should find a mouthpiece brush, rotary oil. Now you might hear some of your brass playing friends talk about valve oil. It's a little bit different. This is a thicker oil and it's specifically made for a French horn. So make sure that yours says rotary oil on it. And then some slide grease. We're going to talk about how to use all of these things at a later time, but just know that you should have all of these in your case. If you haven't already ordered them, you can order them online. Once again, it's rotary oil, slide grease, and a mouthpiece brush. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work with our mouthpiece. So I want you to find the mouthpiece, and you're going to take 3 fingers, just like a baby shark. Have you ever heard that song, Baby Shark? Do, 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 do. So take that baby shark, you're going to put it right on your mouthpiece just like that, and you're going to bring it up to your lips with your lips together, and you're going to blow and see if anything comes out. If you get this, try putting your lips a little closer together. Let's try it once more. Now, without the mouthpiece, here's what this looks like. So, once you've done that, I want you to practice putting your lips closer together or further apart and experiment to see which one makes it higher and which one makes it lower. So let's try that. Which one do you think makes it go higher? If you said closer together, that is correct. So, closer together for high notes, further apart for those low notes. What I just did was called a siren. We're going to try that once more together. Remember, closer together or firmer lips, going to be higher notes. A little bit looser and further apart is going to be the lower notes. Let's try it to siren 3 times. So up and down 3 times. Big breath. If you can do them even faster and get them all in one breath, that's even better. That's going to help strengthen these muscles right in here. So each time that you start playing, think about doing those sirens first. That's going to help you warm up. Now, the next step is to put your horn together. So there are really just 2 parts to the horn. I mean, there's a lot of parts in here, but the 2 main things that you need to be aware of right now is you've got the horn and you've got the mouthpiece. So you're going to grab your horn, set the mouthpiece back in the case, grab your horn, and I want you to make sure that you're grabbing it by parts that are not movable. So if I grab onto this slide moves. Or if I grab onto this back slide right here, that moves. So we want to make sure that we're grabbing the horn by non-movable spots. I personally like this top part right here. I think it's a pretty sturdy place to grab it. And also the bell, or this spot right here and the bell. So once you have that, I want you to take your mouthpiece and you're going to just gently set it in. Now, I personally like to do a quarter turn, just lightly pressing, just to hold that in there. So that way when I empty my water later or anything like that, or I'm talking to a friend and I lean over, my mouthpiece doesn't fall out. Now, your band director might have a different way of doing this, and that's totally fine. But I'm just letting you know, quarter turn in, and then later when we take it out, we're just going to lightly press back the opposite direction and pull it out. So quarter turn in and quarter turn out. So for right now, I want you to put that mouthpiece a quarter turn in, and we're going to talk about how to sit with the horn. So I have this chair right here. What I want you to do is I want you to make sure that your right leg is off to the side. So if I were sitting here without the horn, I'm making a 90-degree angle right here. So this is going to make sure that your horn isn't at a weird angle or anything like this. You can adjust it however you need to. I'm a little bit taller, so I'm gonna actually have to lift my foot up a little bit to raise the horn up to me, but it should come down at a nice angle, just like this. So try that with a mirror, or have your parents watch this video with you and double check that angle so that it's coming down right here rather than straight out like a trumpet. Okay, so make sure that that's coming down at a nice angle for you. Now, what I want you to try now is looking at your right hand. Your hand is going to go right into the bell. So you can do one of two things. As a beginner player, some players find this a little bit uncomfortable and it's more comfortable for them to bring the hand here. That's okay. If you want to start that way, we can work on moving it back to the opposite side later. So however you want, you can have your hand here or here. The most important part is to make sure that you're not covering the bell. I'm going to play a few notes for you just so you can hear the difference. So here's a nice clear sound on the horn. Now if I'm covering too much, here's what I get. And it's not very easy to play. So make sure that your hand is nice and open. I have a little gap in there. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of a space there. Or you can do it on the opposite side closest to you. So when I'm sitting here with my horn, my hand is in the bell. My bell is right there on my leg, probably about the center, but you can adjust that as you need to. And then it's going to come down at an angle, just like this. So I'm going to play my first note. Now, it's either going to come out as a C, an E, or a G. All of these are open notes. So if we look at our lesson book, we've got a C, we've got an E, and we've got a G. Now notice that I'm on the horns only page. There are pages, I believe, right after this that are for full band, but we're going to start on the page that says for French horns only, okay? So also notice that on these right here where you see the fingerings, there is a number and then another number below in parentheses. Right now, you're going to ignore the number in parentheses and you're just going to pay attention to the number that's not in parentheses. So let's try this. We're going to play our first note and I want you to see what comes out. Don't press anything down yet. My thumb's going to go right in the thumb hook, my pinky in the pinky hook, and then 1, 2, 3. And then my hand's going to rest in the bell. I'm going to play a C, and I want you to see if you can match me. Let's try a C once more. Now, if it comes out a little bit higher, try loosening your lips or making them a little bit further apart and see if you can get it to go a little lower. The next note we're going to try is an E. Same fingering, but it's going to be the next note higher. So put your lips a little closer together. See if you can get that E. Let's try that once more. E. Now the last open note that we're going to learn is a G. Now when you're trying the G, and in the future when you try your other notes, I want you to start using your tongue. So just like you were saying the word two. So say it with me, 2, 2, 2. Let's try it once more, 2, 2, 2. So your tongue should be hitting just behind your teeth. Now I want you to whisper, 2, 2, 2, like this. 2, 2, 2. Do that once more. 2, 2, 2. Okay, now no more vocal cords or whispering, but I want you to blow like this. Tongue still behind your teeth. Try it once more. Okay, so we're going to start a G with a nice clear 2. Here is G. A little bit higher, lips a little closer together. Let's try G once more. See if you can get an even clearer tongue. 2. So now the notes in between are D and F. If you look at your book and you look at the placement of those notes on the staff, D is lower, And then F is in that first space. So D is a little bit lower and F is in that first space. Both are going to be the same fingering. So let's try D. Let's try it once more. If you notice that it was too high or too low, adjust your lips accordingly. D. And now the last note we're going to learn is F. So that's still going to be first valve, a little higher, lips a little closer together. F. Once more. F. All right. Now let's put all of those notes together. We're going to play C, then D, then E, then F, then G. Starting with C. Here we go. C. No fingers. Now D. Now E. Remember to keep using your tongue. 2. E. F, first valve. And G, last note. Great job. So practice those notes, those first 5 notes, and see if you can identify if you need to make them higher or lower, or if you're right on. That's a great way of starting. Another thing you might want to try is humming the note first, and then try buzzing it, then playing. That's going to be a nice progression for you as you're working through the horn. All right, so the last step is to take our horn apart and put it back in the case. So as you remember, we did the quarter turn in, so we're going to do a quarter turn out with our mouthpiece. And then I'm going to set that back in the case. So there should be 2 little holes in most cases. Some might just have 1, but most of the cases I've seen have 2 little holes. And I'm going to place the mouthpiece right in there. For many of you, if you're concerned about leaving your mouthpiece at home by accident and not remembering it for full band, you might want to leave it in a special pouch. Some students use a little sock, some students find a little baggie, some find a cute little box. Whatever you want to do, you can store your mouthpiece in that in a separate location. Even better, always at the end of your practice session, if you put your mouthpiece in your book in your backpack, you'll be ready to go and you'll never forget it. So, mouthpiece gets put away wherever you keep it, and then hands on a non-movable part of the horn, you're going to set that right in here. And then really important, when you close your case, make sure that the latches are all the way locked. So this one you can see right here, didn't quite go all the way down, so I'm just going to push that down a little bit. And then we're all set. Have fun practicing.